After over a decade with SM Entertainment, two Red Velvet members, Yeri and Wendy, have decided to part ways, leaving fans curious. Was there something behind their decision, and could this mean Red Velvet is nearing its final chapter? Among SM fans, Red Velvet had always been seen as one of the groups that got the short end of the stick when it came to treatment, yet many still believed the members would stick around a little longer, both with the company and as a group. So when Yeri sent a heartfelt message through Bubble on April 3rd, fans immediately knew something was up. In the message, she let them know that some official news involving her and the company would be released soon, and she wanted to be the one to tell them first so it wouldn't come as a shock. She reassured everyone that no matter what, her love for the fans would never change. Fans were touched by her honesty and thanked her for being so open with them. And in response, Yeri shared that she was stepping into this next phase of her life with a brave heart, expressing her gratitude to those who had always supported her and watched over her all these years. She ended her message with, "I will do better so that we can proudly love each other just as I have silently done. I love you with all my heart." Even though she kept things pretty vague, fans quickly started putting the pieces together. It became clear that the announcement coming the next day would most likely be about her decision not to renew her contract with SM. Even though fans didn't know for sure what was going on, they still showed a lot of support towards Yeri, writing messages like, "It's bittersweet. I'm happy for Yeri for getting out of SM more than anything, and this was a long time coming now, but still sad." Some fans also started speculating about Wendy's decision, wondering if she would follow Yeri or stay with SM. Among the five members, Seulgi had already renewed in August 2023, Irene in early 2024, and Joy in January 2025, leaving just Yeri and Wendy without confirmed decisions. Then, on April 4th, SM officially announced that both Yeri and Wendy had chosen not to renew their contracts. However, the company clarified that while their solo careers would be managed elsewhere, they would still participate in Red Velvet's group activities. The statement ended with SM thanking fans for their continued support and encouraging them to stand by the members in this new chapter. Shortly after, Wendy shared her own message, expressing gratitude to SM for everything they had done for her, but explaining that she was ready to take on new challenges in a different environment. She thanked the fans for their love and support and expressed appreciation for the members, saying their encouragement made it easier for her to move forward with confidence. For those worried about Red Velvet's future, she reassured them that the group was the most precious thing to her and she would continue her activities as a member. Wendy also said, "As we are carefully considering being with a good company that can actively cooperate and support Red Velvet's activities, we will do our best to continue to make precious memories with you as Red Velvet." As for Yeri, she made a post on Instagram of a picture of two children playing in the grass with the word "free" written at the bottom, which said enough about her feelings on the matter. Because Yeri had already hinted that something was coming, fans had some time to brace themselves. So when the news dropped, it wasn't exactly a surprise. Still, just because they saw it coming didn't make it any less painful. And when it came to Wendy, many fans had already sensed that things weren't quite right long before any official statements were made. Take her solo comeback, Wish You Hell, for example, because that project had red flags from the start. It was originally supposed to drop sometime in the third quarter of 2023, but ended up being delayed until early 2024. On top of the delay, there were hints that Wendy had little to no control over the creative direction of the album. Her debut solo, Like Water, was a heartfelt ballad, something which was expected from an SM vocalist. While she seemed content with how it turned out, there were signs she'd wanted to branch out into new sounds and styles. Based on what she told fans, it sounds like the entire sound of Wish You Hell was chosen before she even got to give her input. She mentioned wanting to push back and voice her own ideas, but it didn't seem easy. One fan who attended a fan sign also recalled Wendy saying she had hoped for a lighter, more upbeat concept and was especially interested in trying out R&B. Despite her efforts though, it sounded like she struggled to get any of those ideas into the final version. In a message to fans on Bubble around the same time, she wrote, "These days I'm a bit stressed. I'm working hard on something, but everything's not working out. Do you know that feeling?" Fans didn't have an issue with the songs themselves, as Wendy's voice can carry just about anything, but what really bothered them was knowing she wasn't getting to make the kind of music she actually wanted. That lack of freedom didn't sit right with people who just wanted to see her grow as an artist. A fan of hers wrote, "I don't care if she wants to do trot, ballad, rock, R&B, jazz, or pop because I know Wendy can pull off literally any genre, but let her decide on what she wants to do on her own album." However, that wasn't the end of her problem problems with the company. Everything about Wendy's comeback rollout felt clumsy and disorganized. SM kept dropping the ball, teaser updates came late or out of order, and nothing felt properly planned. One moment that especially stood out was a teaser GIF showing a sketch of a house with Wendy's face appearing in the window. Oddly, it was the only teaser she didn't repost, which many fans took as a sign that she wasn't happy with it either. The situation didn't improve with the actual album release. Sales were impacted because the album didn't ship on time, throwing off music show tracking and hurting her performance there. To make things worse, Wendy had told fans back in May that she wanted the album to have an LP version, and while SM eventually announced it in August for a September release, they managed to mess that up too. The LPs were so limited that fans' pre-orders were canceled, and there was never a restock, leaving many empty-handed. It became pretty obvious over time that SM wasn't all that invested in promoting Wendy outside of Red Velvet. Compared to how they pushed the other members' solo work, her projects often felt ignored. One of the biggest examples was her recent collab with BTS Jin, which is something you would expect any label to proudly promote, but SM didn't even mention it on their official accounts. Even Jin himself shared that the only reason it happened was because he reached out to Wendy through a mutual friend, which fans were glad about, especially knowing that if Jin had tried to make the collab happen through SM, it probably wouldn't have worked out at all. This wasn't a one-time thing either. The producers of the music program Begin Again revealed they had reached out several times, hoping to cast Wendy, only for her to find out about it much later because SM never told her. It didn't stop there. They skipped promoting her solo gigs, like her participation as a judge on Mnet's Build Up, her appearance on NBC's pilot show Song Stealer, and even smaller collaborations. At this point, fans couldn't help but feel like SM just didn't care about pushing her career forward the way they did with others. Yeri didn't have it much easier. From the moment she joined Red Velvet, she's been the target of non-stop hate for her expressions, how she looked, how she sang or danced, even for having friends or grieving when she lost them. It felt like no matter what she did, someone had something negative to say. And through all of that, fans felt that SM failed her, especially when it came to protecting her mental health or standing up for her when things got out of hand. Outside of the group, things weren't great either. Her solo activities, especially her acting, got barely any attention from the company. Fans were shocked to learn that she wasn't even told she had won a Daesung at the 2024 Korea First Brand Awards for her acting. It didn't help that her YouTube show Yeri's Room, which had a strong following and was the reason she landed her first acting role in Mint Condition, was suddenly canceled after just one season because of business issues with SMCNC. Even though the show helped her reach new audiences and showed a different side of her, the company never tried to bring it back. In terms of group music, she was often left behind there too. In many songs, she had to split lines with Irene and was already receiving the shortest parts. But what really stunned fans was Red Velvet's 10th anniversary song Sweet Dreams, where Yeri had no lines of her own, just ad-libs. People understood that equal line distribution isn't always realistic, but to completely leave her out of a song meant to celebrate the group's journey together felt especially cruel. When it comes to Yeri's solo career, well, there isn't much to talk about because she never had one. In the entire 10 years she's been with Red Velvet, Yeri is the only member without an official solo debut. The other members, Wendy, Seulgi, Joy, and Irene, have all had their solo projects. Wendy and Seulgi even got solo comebacks, and Irene and Seulgi even debuted as a duo with plans for a comeback now. So fans were sure that after the others had their solo releases, Yeri would get hers too, but that never happened. Yeri herself even hinted at wanting a solo album titled Kim Yerim, hoping to complete the solo collection alongside her members. But despite her wishes, it never came to be. And this lack of solo promotion is just another example of how SM neglected her career outside of the group. Earlier this year, Wendy and Yeri were noticeably missing from the SMTOWN concert, and their absence sparked quite a bit of attention. Overall, the entire SMTOWN live concert tour had been criticized from the start, with fans and netizens expressing dissatisfaction over everything from the venue selection to ticket prices. However, what really stood out was the absence of Wendy and Yeri during Red Velvet's performance at the company's 30th anniversary concert in Seoul on January 11th and 12th. Initially, the concert lineup included all 5 members, but just a week before the event, SM made a surprising announcement. Wendy and Yeri wouldn't be attending due to personal reasons. While fans were disappointed, it wasn't completely shocking given the history of such situations, so everyone just hoped the members were doing okay. But it turned out there was more to the story than fans had expected. On the same day, Wendy took to Bubble to explain that she had informed the company about her absence over a month earlier, but SM didn't announce it until the day of the concert. She apologized to fans for not being able to perform with the group and hoped they would still enjoy the event. Things got even messier when people realized that Taeyeon also had a similar issue and couldn't attend the event either. Fans began questioning SM's handling of the situation, especially given the effort and money put into promoting the concert. There were even rumors suggesting that Wendy's absence was tied to her contract renewal. Some fans speculated that SM might be using her absence to turn fans against her, implying that she didn't want to be part of the concert, when in reality the company had dropped the ball in communicating the situation. In Yeri's case, she shared with fans that she would only be appearing for Red Velvet's main stage and not participating in the rest of the SMTOWN concert due to scheduling conflicts. That explanation didn't sit well with a lot of people, especially since many suspected SM had once again mismanaged things, this time overlapping the concert schedule with Yeri's acting commitments. The theory gained more traction when it was revealed she had recorded vocals for the Run Devil Run cover, but didn't end up performing it live. That made fans think she had been included in the original plans, but something went wrong behind the scenes. At the time, fans assumed it was just a one-time absence and that both Yeri and Wendy would rejoin future shows. But when the lineups for SMTOWN Live's upcoming global tour dates were announced, things started to look more permanent. The concert is heading to Mexico City and Los Angeles in May and London in June, and all three events have confirmed that neither Wendy nor Yeri will be appearing. Looking back, it's now clear that they were quietly wrapping up their remaining activities as their contracts came to an end. Right now, fans are mostly just trying to figure out where things go from here. Not just for Wendy and Yeri, but for Red Velvet as a whole. There's a lot of speculation about what's next, especially for Wendy, who many believe will stay in music and continue her solo career under a different label. While she hasn't made any official announcement yet, people have already thrown around a few names. Some thought she might sign with BPM, the same label as SHINee's Taemin and Viviz, which is linked to MC Mong. But considering her desire to keep doing group activities and the well-known tension between SM and MC Mong, that route seems complicated. Antenna has also come up in conversations. As a Kakao-owned company with big names like Yoo Jae-suk, Lee Hyori, and Super Junior's Kyuhyun on its roster, it seems like the kind of environment where Wendy could grow, be active solo, and still collaborate with Red Velvet if the chance came. Mystic Story is another possibility. Since it's partly under SM, it could offer her more freedom while still keeping her close to group activities without red tape. Yeri, on the other hand, seems to be stepping fully into her acting era. She's been building up her resume for a while now, and with no one standing in her way anymore, she finally has the chance to take on whatever roles she wants. Fans think this might be the start of something big for her. As for Red Velvet, there's definitely some uncertainty in the air. Group comebacks might feel less likely with members spread across different companies, but fans know how much these five care about each other and about the group. No matter how long it takes or where they all end up, one thing feels certain: they will find a way back to the stage together.